Sitting closest to me is Dan Daley. You can applaud. Okay. And next to him, Mark Jindal. We will start this round with opening statements. And let me start with you, Mr. Jindal.
Good evening, everyone. I am Dr. Mark Gendel. Many thanks to the League of Women Voters, the Customer Involved Government Committee, and our award-winning Coral Springs Charter School. I would like you to become better acquainted with me this evening. I look forward to discussing your questions and concerns about our city. As an eye doctor, I have preserved, enhanced, and improved the vision of more than 25,000 residents in Coral Springs. I have been a homeowner, raised 5 kids, and have been deeply involved in every facet of Coral Springs life for over 3 decades. Chamber and government participation and 30 years of owning a medical practice and retail business in Coral Springs make me uniquely qualified to be responsive and responsible to the citizens and businesses in our city. I have a vision for the future of our city. I look forward to hearing yours as we move this great city into the future. I hope to earn your vote this evening. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Daley.
First off, good evening, and thank you very much to the League of Women Voters, the Customer Involved Government Committee, and Mr. Lyons for putting up with us this evening. Thank you. It's really a pleasure to be here. As a small business owner and former district and capital aide to State Representative Ari Porth, I understand the issues facing Coral Springs, and I'm ready to address them. Our campaign continues to focus on economic development, public safety, and revitalizing our community, all in an effort to encourage business growth, bring new residents, encourage those that are here to stay. I offer a fresh and energetic perspective, government experience, business sense, and a sincere desire to see Coral Springs great again. Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you. Mr. Daley, the first question is yours. What do you think the role of the commission is as opposed to the role of staff, and how do you see the two interacting?
I think they have to have I think they need to work hand in hand. Staff are clearly the experts and the boots on the ground. They are the ones that studied this most of their lives, worked their way up through the city government. They understand the issues better than anybody else, and as a commissioner, your job is really to provide the direction that you want the city to go in. But the staff is who make it possible, and I got to say they do a phenomenal job here in Coral Springs under the leadership of City Manager Erdal Damez. We've been a terrific city for years, and I look forward to continuing that tradition.
Thank you. Mr. Jindal?
I think we have an incredible, responsive, brilliant staff in the city of Coral Springs, from our city planners, our city manager, our assistant city managers. When I was involved on the Government Affairs Committee in the Chamber, and we brought signage to Coral Springs in the last round, and we made a lot of changes, the staff did incredible research, made an unbelievable presentation. It was of how the signage could be. They brought in pictures, they brought in all kinds of things. What they do is they put their boots on and they do the right research, and they've presented to the commission the ability to make the right decisions. As a commissioner, it's our job to talk to the citizens and the businesses and see what they want, and then integrate it with what our staff recommends to us. Some of my decisions won't be popular, and some of them, but all of them are going to be with my heart to bring this wonderful, incredible city that's afforded me an incredible life forward.
Thank you, sir. Judging by the reaction from the audience, I think I'm going to call you Mark.
Thank you.
So the next question is yours, Mark, and my apologies. How have you prepared for the job of City Commissioner?
I'm sorry?
How have you prepared for the job that you seek as City Commissioner?
I've prepared for the job of City Commissioner since I'm, I think, 17 years old, because my whole life I've always been involved in community, in everything I've done. I was even the president of my class in optometry school. I was involved in all kinds of government activities. I'm involved with the state of Florida. In my profession, I craft legislation, And then also my business. I decided to bring my business into this community. And most people here know that my involvement in the chamber is second to none. I've been involved in every part of our Chamber of Commerce, mentoring other businesses and bringing them in. I also own a business in Coral Springs. I negotiate leases. I have a sign, and I know what that sign does for my own business. I have 7 employees and families that we're taking care of in Coral Springs. I pay 6 occupational license taxes. I pay inventory taxes. I pay every kind of tax. I know exactly what it's like to have a retail business in this town.
Thank you, Mark.
And a medical practice. Thank you so much.
Dan, same question to you.
If you could just repeat it, Mr. Lyon.
Question is, how have you prepared for the job of city commissioner?
In many ways. Since day one of moving to Coral Springs, I realized that I truly love this community. That's why I went off to college, worked with the Florida legislature representing this area in Tallahassee with our state representative, Ari Porth, and I understand the issues that we now face. That's why I'm running for the commission in the first place. I am a small business owner. Yes, it's a distribution company. Yes, it's online. Some other online companies include eBay, Amazon, Google, Facebook. They have billions of dollars of impact worldwide every year. Now, am I saying I'm Amazon? No, but I like to be? Absolutely. I've been working hard over the last 18 months to get to know the issues. I've been to every single city meeting, business plan meeting, workshop that I can get to, because it's important that this individual that's elected to the City Commission is prepared to start on day one. You may have a busy schedule, I do too, but you still need to know the issues. There wasn't a lot of preparing necessary for tonight because we've been talking and learning about the issues the last 18 months. I'm ready to start on day one. Thank you.
Thank you. There are many issues that a city commissioner must deal with. What I'd like to know is, what one topic in particular do you consider to be the most important, and what would you do to accomplish it? Let me start with you, Dan.
Sure. Doug, no offense to you, I think there are 3 main issues, and I think they go hand in hand, so I'm going to mention all 3. And they've been what we've been talking about the last 18 months: economic development, public safety, and revitalizing our community. I say they go hand in hand, and I use this example all the time, because if you have crime in the streets, nobody's going to move here, nobody's going to do business here. If you have a city that looks tired, run down, needs a fresh coat of paint, nobody's going to move here, nobody's going to do business here. So that needs to be our focus moving forward. It has been the focus of this commission. I applaud everything they do, and I've been, like I said, to all the meetings, and I look forward to joining them in November.
In fairness, Mark, if you can get 3 issues in a time frame, go for it.
Economic development, no, I'm kidding. Most important is public safety. And my business has been hit 4 times. So, and I could tell you the games I've been playing to try to keep them out, including the last time where they actually took a axe and went to my back door and took the entire back of the building off, okay? So public safety is important. My home has been hit twice, and this new burglary unit that we're coming out with, the Bear unit, with this unbelievable budget, we're going to hire 3 new police people to help us in our homes. Home invasion is so important. Public safety is number 1. Number 2, am I allowed a number 2? I guess I am.
As long as you do it.
I'm not going to give any platitudes. I am absolutely in awe and amazed of what our commission is now doing. Under the amazing leadership of Mayor Gold, I just want to show you like one thing, one report that they ordered. This is a landscape analysis with over 350 medians and how to fix them all. This is a plan. Our city commission now has plans to go forward. I'm sorry.
Your time is up. Sorry. The next question will go to you, Mark, and
I'm sorry.
It's on the theme of public safety. The question is, what changes, since public safety is an important concern, what changes would you make to the city's police and fire department?
Well, also, I want to compliment our fire. You guys are amazing. Your training facility, you're in my office. I've had kids have seizures in my office. Most important, the way you guys are, is your incredible bedside manner. You can come in and take care of a patient, but when you come in and soothe the patient and make them feel good, You're amazing. Our fire is second to none. And getting to the public safety, another improvement I like to make is to see our police out on bicycles. Everybody knows I love bicycles. Out on bicycles in our neighborhoods, meeting our residents, meeting our kids, and increasing dialogue. I am a big believer in community policing.
Thank you. Dan?
Thank you, Doug. I believe wholeheartedly that we have one of the top, if not the top, public safety response units in the state, if not the country, both fire and police. They do a phenomenal job, and every year we've asked them to do more with less. I will say, shameless plug, I'm proud to have the support of both police and fire. I believe they do an incredible job every day for our residents, and I look forward to working with them. For those of you that don't know, for the first time in 12 years, the City Commission a few weeks ago approved hiring 3 new officers. Statistically, based on FBI population statistics, we're still 50 officers short. That's a concern to me. Am I saying we need to hire 50 more officers right away? Absolutely not. We've always been very good at managing our resources that we have here in town, but I'm a big proponent of community policing. I think the city's done a tremendous job with the Make a Call, Make a Difference program and getting the word out that we're all responsible for our community, but I want to see the officer on the street that comes through my neighborhood. I want to know that person one-on-one. I want to know them personally, so when there's an issue, I'm going to call that person. That benefits our community.
Thank you, Dan. Dan, I'd like you to take this next question. Do you see any situation where you would support an increase in property taxes?
An increase in property taxes, no one ever wants to outright support one. I think that it's important that we do everything we can to avoid doing so. And like we mentioned earlier, the mayoral candidates mentioned earlier, we have for the last 19 years. One of the problems I see, and it's catching up to us now, is we are, for a city of our size, the second lowest tax rate in the county. What that means, what that translates to, is the cheapest place to live. So you have areas of the city that are starting to look tired and worn and that we need to clean up. So if I know where the money is going and I see the benefit in having those extra dollars, I would then be a proponent of raising millage. If you think about it this way, when the City Commission made this tough decision just a few weeks ago, their whole idea behind it was for this additional $40 to $45 for the average homeowner, years later, a few years from now, we will hopefully promise you $1,000 or more increase in property values. You need to make the investment now to make a difference later.
Thank you, Dan. Mark?
Quoting Commissioner Bruck, this is an honest budget. I am absolutely amazed that this budget of the $98 million that the Commission votes on and the $166 million total is honest. Every dollar is accounted for. A 4% tax increase this year, the first one in 11 years, gave us $1,729,000 of initial revenue. That's my phone. Can you believe that? It's my wife. She's in Vegas for her mother's 80th birthday. Sorry. $1,729,000 of additional revenue, which is $42 per single-family homeowner, 3 new police, and now we can implement this incredible code enforcement review by hiring 2 new code enforcement officers to make our city cleaner and make people keep our values up and make people want to live here. Thank you.
Thank you, Mark. I'd like you to take the next question. Do you feel that code enforcement tends to be more lenient with larger business owners and shopping centers? And if so, how would you level the enforcement?
Organizational review ordered by our city manager that just came out September 2012. The answer is the way our code enforcement works now, all of those things can't be helped because we have code enforcement officers that have big jobs doing something and some that are not working. This is going to divide the city up for the code enforcement officers and make management levels. It'll be a manager, and then they're going to hire 2 more people to manage the other officers to make it more fair. Selective enforcement is terrible. And also make it more complete. And the code officers will be able to go to shopping centers, single-family homes, and do inspections, which they weren't able to do in the past. They were specialized in one area. So I think that our code enforcement is going to get better, and I fully support this report and its implementation.
Thank you, Mark. Dan?
I think it's important that we talk about code enforcement, because the top two issues that I've come across from business owners and residents alike are the building department, mostly from business owners, and code enforcement from everybody. Selective enforcement is the biggest problem. For example, the owner of Wings Plus, Brian Walsh. I go in there probably more than I should. And he's explained to me some of the issues he's had with code enforcement. He'll put a sign up or put a sign in the window to say, you know, hiring, now hiring. Where's the problem in that? You're offering a job to a local job seeker. But and code will give them a hard time about it. But the major corporation right on the other side of the street can hang lights and break other code violations and never has anything done to them. I think we need to have a level playing field. I think we have, over the last few years, instituted new technology and new programs like the Code Rangers program that gets average citizens out there policing our streets for code enforcement violations as well. We need to use these new programs and new technology for the betterment of our city.
Thank you. Speaking of commercial properties, there seems to be a lot of for rent and for sale signs in the city of Coral Springs. What plans do you have to attract businesses back to the city and fill those vacancies? Let me start with you, Dan.
Thank you, Doug. The biggest thing we need to do is create an environment where business can come and open. For years, everybody says, oh, Coral Springs is open for business. Then why do we make it so difficult for people to come here and open a business? Why do we make it so difficult for people that are already here to keep their business and their doors open? We need to make sure that we're doing everything we can to streamline processes. Give them a reason to come here, and they will come. As you can see, a perfect example, the building right in front of this building on the corner. We built it. They didn't come. That means that something is still wrong. We need to look at ourselves, see what we can do to work with these businesses, work with those that are looking to relocate, work with the Economic Development Foundation, the Chamber of Commerce, to bring new businesses here. I also support a vibrant downtown. I want to see downtown development. I want people coming to downtown Coral Springs. Stop going to the Promenade in Coconut Creek. Stop going to Delray Beach. Stop going to Fort Lauderdale. Spend your money here. Spend your money in Coral Springs. We welcome it.
Thank you, Dan. Mark, same question.
I'm going to actually ask you to repeat the question because I want to analyze it a little bit.
There are a lot of for rent and for sale signs in commercial properties in the city. What plans do you have to attract businesses back to Coral Springs and fill those vacancies?
Well, I think it's also almost an inaccurate question because Paul Cawley and our economic development in the last 2 years, and you guys can applaud, has filled every big box retail place in this city. We are doing great. Our retail is very much filled up. Believe me, paying rent, the rents are outrageous for businesses. Because now it's getting squeezed and there's much more competition. There's no retail space out there. Let's talk about commercial space. We're 50 or 60% empty. These buildings that we have here, they need to be worked on, and what we need to do is realize what the real economy is. Is the real economy office space? I don't think so. So that's the problem with these buildings. They need to be redone, redeveloped. Then there's the industrial park, big box warehouse ways of doing business is antiquated. We need to look at the land development plan, as Commissioner Bocard said, sorry. We need to redo that industrial park. We need to bring in new types of businesses, and we need to leverage our sports and our kids. We can put in all kinds of facilities in there that are sports-oriented to match our top swimming facility and the only 3-sheet ice facility in the southern United States.
Thank you. We will have closing statements now. We'll start with you, Mark.
Thank you all for listening. And again, thanks to the League of Women Voters. I have consistently been a dedicated member of the Coral Springs community as a homeowner and a business owner. I want to continue and enhance what I have already accomplished, serving the Coral Springs Chamber of Commerce, the City of Coral Springs, Broward County, and the state of Florida. I want to enhance the quality of life in Coral Springs and build on all the great work that has been completed and that we are preparing for. I look forward to serving you as we celebrate the 50th anniversary of the greatest city to live, work, play, and raise a family. I am asking you for your vote so we can compose the greatest city of your imagination. I am focused and I am ready. Please vote for Mark Gandel, Coral Springs City Commission. Thank you and good evening.
Thank you, Mark. Dan?
As I stated earlier, I'm a small business owner and the former aide to State Representative Ari Abraham-Porth. I understand how government works and will bring that to the benefit of the city of Coral Springs. When we have an issue in Tallahassee, it doesn't matter if Joe Schmo calls up and says, hey, this is going to impact my city, but if I can call someone and say, this is how this negatively will impact our community, can you please reconsider? It makes a difference right here at home. Over the last 18 months, it's been a phenomenal honor to knock on over 5,000 doors and get to meet residents at every major city event. It's really been a phenomenal undertaking. And that's why our issues are economic development, public safety, and increasing the look and the feel of our community. I offer a fresh and energetic perspective. It's exactly what businesses that are looking to relocate, especially in these tough times, are looking for. They need a workforce. They want that energetic, technology-competent individual that knows what they're doing. What better place for them to locate than in Coral Springs? I'm open to being that ambassador to bring them here to our community. You can go to my website, electdandaley.com, or call me on my cell phone, 954-778-3304, if there's ever anything I can do for you. I'd be honored to have your vote in November.
Thank you, Dan. Let us